Radical equations employing the quadratic formula. Remember that radical equations are when the variable in the equation occurs in a square root, cube root, and so on. So we're going to start off with an example. We have square root of x plus 2 equals x minus 5. So we're going to find the real solutions of this equation. We're going to start off by getting rid of the square root. So we're going to square both sides of the equal sign. We're going to get x plus 2 equals and x minus 5 times x minus 5 since it's squared. It'll be times itself. And now we're going to FOIL, so we're going to have x plus 2 on this side, and we'll get x times x, which is x squared, x times negative 5, negative 5x, negative 5x again, and plus 25. Let's get combine like terms, so we're going to x plus 2 equals x squared minus 10x plus 25, and get all terms on one side of the equal sign. So we're going to subtract x and subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. We're going to get 0 equals x squared minus 11x plus 23. And since 23 is a prime, we know that we cannot factor this one, so we're going to have to use the quadratic formula. So let's pull off our a, b, and c. So a is 1 because it's attached to the x squared, b is negative 11, it's attached to the x, and c is 23. It has no variable. Recall our quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And now we're going to plug in our a, b, and c. So we get negative 11 plus or minus the square root of negative 11 squared minus 4 times 1 times 23, and that is all over 2 times 1. This simplifies to 11 plus or minus the square root of 121 minus 92 all over 2. It can be simplified even further to x equals 11 plus or minus the square root of 29 over 2. So we have x equals 11 plus square root of 29 over 2, and we have x equals 11 minus the square root of 29 over 2. I'm keeping it in this form because I want the exact answers when I go back to check and make sure my answers are correct. So we're going to check now. So we're going to plug these into the original equation. So let's start off with the positive version. So we're going to plug in x equals 11 plus the square root of 29 over 2 into the original equation. So we're going to have the square root of 11 plus the square root of 29 all over 2 plus 2. That's going to equal 11 plus the square root of 29 over 2 minus 5. And these come out to be approximately 3.19258 equals 3.19258. I put those in the calculator, so they check out. And let's try the second one, 11 minus the square root of 29 over 2. So we're going to start off with the square root of 11 minus the square root of 29 over 2 plus 2 equals 11 minus the square root of 29 over 2 plus minus 5, sorry. And these come out to approximately, the first one is 2.19258, and that equals approximately negative 2.19258. So this one does not work, so this is an extraneous solution. So the only one that works is the positive version, so this is our answer.